What goes on, people? Welcome to Den Night, and today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Astro Megazord from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Zord Ascension project. This is only, if I'm correct, the third one they've come out with, if you don't count the black and gold Megazord as a different one altogether. I don't, but this is the third one, and this is actually one of my favorite Megazords. I think mostly because it's just so simple. There's only two pieces to it, and a big trope in Power Rangers is always there's 5 or however many separate Zords, but they never really use them separately. So that kind of like, you put the home base and the Zord in one thing, which I thought was kind of neat. Just see, and actually there you go, that's the size of it, 14.5 inches. My understanding is the Zord Ascension project, they're all supposed to be in scale to each other, so I'll put this next to the Zord Ascension Megazord I have and just kind of show you how much different in size they were. If they ever do a Serpentera, that's going to be... I don't know that they could do that in scale. That would be insane. If I think of it, I'll put a quick flash to like a scene of Serpentera fighting regular Megazords, just to see how big they are, but nice little art on the side. And you can see this is my fault. When I took it out of the packaging, I ripped it, but it's fine. I don't save the boxes anyway. So, with that said, let's get them out of the box. And here we got everything out of the box. I did do some minor assembly, but for the most part it did come like this out of the package. These were folded down. The little thrusters on the side were removed. And the, whatever that's supposed to be on the bottom, cannon, something, that was not installed either. So, but for the most part it came in as a big block like this, and I will say it is pretty heavy. It's got some weight. Doesn't feel as, I guess I'll say, cheap as the Dino Megazord did, so it's a plus. It did come with these little figures. They're all in the same pose, and you can really not even tell they're the Space Rangers, other than color assortment, of course, but it's fine. I think they're also supposed to be in scale. Possibly. They could be. Just looking at one in relation to the shuttle, they might be in scale. It's hard to say. But I think that was the idea, they were supposed to be. So, I guess the thing to check is if those are the same size as the ones that came with the Dino Megazord. Anyway, we also got the shuttle, which should be in there right now. But they packed it separately. Got 2 sets of exchangeable hands. Fists, well, not fists, weapon gripping. I think the fists are already on the ship. They are. So the fists are already there. And you got weapon grip hands and more like open hand kind of thing. And then, last but not least, the sword, which I know the shield is, the shield is stored underneath there. So I guess the sword was kind of also like the Dino Megazord in that it just kind of like appears like it's summoned from the grid. I don't know, because it doesn't store anywhere. But it does have some good detail, I will say that. I do remember my original one from the 90s or whatever. Didn't have any color, and it was just a silver piece of plastic basically, so that's nice. More detail. Take a better look at the ship. The M on the ship is very chromy. I don't know if that's picking up on the camera, but also the parts that are supposed to be chrome, at least as far as I remember, they are very chrome. It's definitely a lot more detailed, and I believe it is bigger too than the original toy. But it is a very nice piece so far. I know a lot of people have been having problems with, I believe, the clip that holds these arms underneath when it's in ship mode. We'll find out in a second if I also have that problem. I hope not. But let's see if I can do this quick. I can't. Okay. I'm going to try and open that quick. So, quick cut and let's get the shuttle inside. So, I will say this was really scary. These two hinges here were really stuck together. I actually had to reference the instructions just to make sure I wasn't doing something wrong, but it did require some oomph to get those open. So that is kind of scary with those because, like I said, I know there's been some problems with some of those little retaining pegs. And you have to fold these down as well because they were already folded up out of the box, and that's what you do when it's in Megazord mode, obviously. So it's a closed off foot. But I did also forget the inside of the lid had this artwork with the Astro Megazord fighting a Ecliptor here. And then when you open the box, this was over top of everything. Just some neat artwork, so neat stuff. So, with that said, do a quick cut and let's get him transformed. And get a good look at him. So, I ended up going with the blaster and shield. Because I think that makes more sense in a space fight. I don't think there's a lot of choreographed swordplay in space, but reason number 2, I could not get the sword to go into the grip hand. I was afraid I was going to break something, so obviously needs a little bit of heat gun persuasion to make that work. But like I said, I think this makes more sense anyway. And one thing I did notice is the blaster kind of has a little recess in there. Almost like they intended to include a blast effect, like their Lightning Collection figures, which would have made sense, but I don't know what happened there. Just save money, cut costs, I don't know what that was about. But like I said, this is a very weighty figure. Feels a lot more quality than the Dino Megazord did. Although with how bulky it is, there's not really a lot of like posability to it, unfortunately. So I'm not sure that the price tag is warranted, unfortunately, as of right now. Oh, and the other thing, so when the shield is under the ship, this half kicks back and then rotates to tuck under. You can actually do it a full 360. So when I first set it up, I thought they had painted my logo on wrong, like upside down, but it was just because I didn't rotate it in the correct direction. So another oopsie on my part. And I did notice this has wheels here, which is something my toy from the 90s, clean it out, my toy from the 90s didn't have, but that really helps helps you roll it when it's in ship mode, which I can appreciate. As far as the leg things that have been snapping, the little retainers, mine did not, and I don't think they will because I don't intend at this point to put it back in ship mode as of this point. And I will also say getting the legs to go around, like fold out from ship mode, fold out and then rotate them into the leg orientation, that was extremely nerve-wracking. Just, it's very tight clearances, you have to have everything folded out of the way, and again, I thought it was something I was going to break. But it worked out. Nothing's broken on mine. Everything looks good. So, with that said, let me do a quick cut and go grab my Zord Ascension Megazord, or Dino Megazord I should say, and let's compare the sizes. And quick comparison for size anyway. Let's see, the Dino Megazord really only comes up to about armpit level of the Astro Megazord, so if they are in scale, That is quite a difference. Hopefully they continue that style of keeping them in scale to each other if this line keeps going. But again, Serpentera would probably... I can't even imagine how big that would be or how much that would cost if they did a Serpentera. I think that's just dreaming. But with that said, let's get both of these back in the showcase. Something I did forget when he was in ship mode. I can get this arm out of the way. It's not showing up very well, but if you look in there, there is the cockpit when it's in Mega Ship mode. And then when it's in Megazord mode, up top here, you have them in the cockpit. So that does actually answer my question, because if you factor them sitting, that is pretty much in scale, give or take very slightly, but pretty much does look like them. And here we got them in the showcase, and as you can tell, I decided to forego the regular showcase and put him in the kind of like oversized overflow one. I think that works out better with his size and keeps me from shuffling some shelves for now. But with that said, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things, share this with any Power Rangers fans you may know, and as always, keep collecting. Bye.